Alexander Ovechkin closing in on Wayne Gretzky's all-time goals record for the NHL. Maz, your thoughts?
So last night, I was rooting for him. It was the only reason I kept an eye on the game. That was the only thing I wanted to see. And look, we touched on this recently, Mike. There aren't many records in sports that I think are, really that noteworthy. You're going to tell me someone makes the most three-pointers, or who cares? I mean, the way they shoot the three-pointer now is completely different than where it was 20 years ago even. But this one, this is, first of all, it's held by Gretzky. So that in and of itself gives it a certain status and stature in the history of any sports. Secondly, it's really the biggest record in the game. Who puts the puck in the net the most, or who did? I don't think there's a bigger or better record in hockey than that. You could say maybe the single season goal record. But now that he's closing in, the season's about to end, there's a little drama to it. I'm rooting for the guy. I want to see it.
Felt like the crowd at the Garden was too. Listen to that clip. Yes, Jim?
I don't want it. I don't know. That's a record. Like, Gretzky to me I hold it such a higher standard. And Ovechkin's a nice player. I don't despise him or anything. But this is the guy that's going to break that record.
I've been rooting against it from the start.
Okay, but if you're asking me, do I think he's a better player than Gretzky? My answer is no.
Well, this is partly why I'm rooting against it.
He's like a big ox.
I don't think he can hold Gretzky's job.
Right.
He can't.
But I will say this.
But he's a tremendous goal scorer.
Let me tell you, because I'm fair. This is why you come here, okay? His goal record is more legitimate than Gretzky's. In other words, it's a legit record. He didn't do it. They both played 20 seasons. Look at their games played. It's just about the same. So it's not like Ovechkin hung on for 5 extra years to beat the record. And more importantly, he did it in an era where it's much harder to score. Much. When Gretzky came up in the NHL, he started in the WHA, for Pete's sake. So they were his first couple games, first half season, whatever, was in the WHA, the Indiana Racers or whatever they were called, before he went to Edmonton, and then they merged with the NHL. But that era of hockey, I mean, just go back and look at the highlight clips.
Look at the goalie equipment. Compare it from generation. Like, now these guys are built like the Michelin men with everything that they got on.
Not just the goalie equipment, but they were all little guys with little pads who played on their feet. And we'll go back and watch Bobby Orr's highlight reels. Like, it's night and day. Or Gretzky, any of those guys would not be scoring like they scored nowadays because the goalies are so much bigger, so much better, and the padding has gotten stupid. Okay? So it's never mind the physicality of the game. Ovechkin still came in with the clutching and grabbing era and the neutral zone trap era. It is much harder to score now than it was in Wayne Gretzky's day.
Definitely.
So Ovechkin's 894, a harder pull than Gretzky's 894, and I'm going to give that to him. I'm still rooting against him because I think as an overall player, he doesn't hold Gretzky's jock.
Completely fair.
And I say overall player, I mean just the overall
skill set,
greatness of the player. And here's how I will I'll back that up. It's hard to compare raw numbers to raw numbers because, again, the game was so more wide open in Gretzky's era. So it was much easier to put up points. So all you can really do is compare it to the field. So, in other words, Wayne Gretzky won 9 Hart trophies. 9 MVP. That's the MVP. Yeah. He won 9 MVPs, the most ever. Ovechkin has 3. So scale to scale. Like, a 60-goal season is now like a 40-goal season if you compare. But so you compare to the players of their era. Gretzky, I think Gretzky won the MVP 9 of his first 10 years.
Something like that.
So he got 9 in his career. Ovechkin had 3. Gretzky has 4 cups. Ovechkin has 1. You can just go to that one. Ross trophies, leading score. Okay, points, not just goals. Gretzky won it 10 times as the league's leading scorer. The next guy on the list is Gordie Howe with 6. Ovechkin did it once. So Ovechkin wasn't an assist guy. Gretzky, so, and then you have stats like this.
What's like career plus minus?
Gretzky won the scoring title by more than 70 points 6 times.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
So he wasn't just the league's leading scorer. He was the league's leading scorer by 70 points on 6 different occasions. So the gap between Gretzky and everybody else, the greatness of that player in the field versus Ovechkin in the field, it's not there. And so, like, I'm rooting against Ovechkin. I hope he doesn't get it. I don't think he's in the same class as Wayne Gretzky, but as a pure goal scorer, his .894 harder earned than Gretzky's .894. That I will give him.
Okay, who's baseball's all-time leader in hits?
It's Pete Rose.
Pete Rose. Is he the best player of all time?
No.
Okay, so separate things. And so this is my only point. I don't think Ovechkin's the greatest player in the history of the game, but the goal record's the goal record. And you know what? Did you ever think anyone would break it?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so and this is what it is for me. I never thought this was in jeopardy, ever.
If Gretzky never scored a goal, he still would have recorded 11 straight 100-point seasons and won 4 scoring titles.
That's ridiculous.
Incredible, right? His numbers are ridiculous.
Gretzky won 8 consecutive. But again, this is versus the field. I'm not just giving you 212 points or 92 goals. I'm giving you him versus the players of his time.
Yep.
He was here, and the rest of the league was there. Gretzky won 8 consecutive MVPs at one point. In the NHL, NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball, no other player has ever won more than 4 consecutive MVPs.
And it was 8 in a row, you said?
8.
That's crazy.
8 in a row. So he won 8 of his first 9, I guess it was.
It was a fluke.
Gretzky's the only player. Now, this one is, again, about his era, but still, he's the only player to record a 200-point season. And he did it 4 times. Gretzky's 73 shorthanded goals, most of all time.
Yeah, 73 shorthanded goals. Seriously. Ridiculous.
So, like, I just don't want anyone taking any of those away from him.
Right.
Never mind Ovechkin, who is, if not a one-trick pony, I mean, a physical player.
No, but he's close to a one-trick pony.
He'll throw his weight around, but they only put him out there shorthanded when there's an empty net for him to poach a goal, which I hate when they do that with Pastrnak. I hate all stat humping. So they throw him out on 6 and 5. I don't know how much penalty killing he's ever really done.
Not much.
5 career shorthanded goals.
I was just going to say that.
5 career shorthanded.
5.
Which are not empty netters. Which are not like,
Correct.
because 5 on 6, they don't consider that shorthanded.
Correct.
So Gretzky 73 shorthanded goals, Ovechkin 5. Like just that number alone.
Well, and the power play, Ovechkin 322 power play goals. It's got to be number 1 all time. Gretzky only had 204.
That's a difference of 118.
That's a massive difference. Massive. But I will also say this. The empty net thing, because I held it against him too until I looked it up. He's got 65, Ovechkin.
How many did Gretzky have?
56. So they're in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, Marchand had 38 for crying out loud. Let's take away his 38.
Well, given what they do here with Pastrnak, he's going to catch him.
Yeah, so like, I don't know. Now Gordie Howe had 801 goals. I didn't think Wayne Gretzky was, I don't think Gordie Howe's better than Wayne Gretzky. But 895 goals, if that's what he gets to, is 895 goals.
No, in an era where it's impossible to score.
I mean, like
that I've got to give him. And I want to poke holes in Ovechkin's goals, but I can't really. Again, I want to say, well, he played much longer than Gretzky. No, he didn't.
He shot the puck almost 2,000 times more than Gretzky did on net.
Okay,
but that's his job.
That's his job. Does that mean so? Do I have to say that Alex Ovechkin is a better pure goal scorer than Wayne Gretzky?
Ugh.
Yeah. And if I may, quick digression to the team they beat last night. Now 9 straight losses for the Bruins that they have, or 9 games they haven't won in a row. Drive for 5 is on. Keep losing. Right now they're projected to get the 5th overall pick. Keep losing the rest of the season.
But it is a lottery, which means they could end up at 12.
Yeah, they could.
So you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Given the run they're on, I don't like their chances. All right, I promise you.
And they'll draft the wrong player anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no. Like the kid they picked in the first round out of BC, who just finished his first college season. The anti-great one, the sucky one,
the suck one,
the Brett Gretzky,
Dean Letourneau,
the suck one, just played a full college season against Bentley.
And correct.
Teams such as this,
Yep.
Vermont,
Yep.
and Bentley, and New Hampshire, just put up 0 goals.
That's impressive.
And 3 assists.
I think that's harder to do than Ovechkin's 891.
That was a good pick.
How do you do that? College kid, not juniors, where they actually score more, but you know what I mean. Where, there's some good players there. But you're also playing, did I mention Bentley?
I don't know that I've ever seen that.
And Bentley made the tournament, but you know what I mean.
They took him in the
0 college goals.
Correct.
First rounder.
The Bruins should start taking the George Costanza approach in the draft, which is whatever impulse you have, do the opposite.
That is hard to do.
Yeah, right.
3 assists.